Taylor? What's going on, brother? Welcome back. Morning, everybody. What's going on? We got a gap up in the market today. It looks like we're going about 1%, give or take. That's just that's the nature of this market. We are in a gap and go market, meaning I wouldn't even say gap and go market. We're in a gap and grind market. So gut feeling today, we gap up, first pullback in the market, it holds, and we grind for a good chunk of the day. Slightly higher, not volatile enough where you get like these sick breakouts, but just grind enough where you try to buy the breakouts and you get tired of staring at them, and then they just grind higher. I'm thinking that's probably the tour de jour for today. So we'll have to be a little bit careful. There's more than enough action though in individual names that even if the market grinds today, we're going to have some action in individual names because there's sectors that are moving around and there's individual stocks that got some really good range right now. If you look like oil, so that I use the oil, if you're using QM, that's the half oil future contract. It's up 13% today. So you got to move in oil. So oil stocks are going to have some action today. If you're looking and you see like a big move, pushing in oil, I think this FANG could be a potential play. You got a nice kind of consolidation the last few days. The liquidity is pretty good on it. You can see it also has the ability to move like $3-4 very, very quickly, which is all you can ask for. Oxy, we keep a couple of these always on the list, but if you see here, it's finally tightening up to the point where like it can break out. You've got multiple tests of this resistance spot, 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests at resistance. If it can break over this 50 SMA and this breakout level, we're going to be able to have some fun on this one. Now, in general, oil stocks are very tricky to chase high. You got to let them pull back. I never had any good luck buying oil stock at highs. You chase, you die on these things always. Let this thing pull back a little bit, and then we'll be able to shred this thing very, very nicely once we get going on this. So I like this one. We're just going to have to. So we got oil stocks moving around. There was some news in cruise lines. Those 2 pieces of news in NCLH today. Number one, these dicks put out these guys put out a press release saying they have ongoing concerns that they can stay in business. But then there's a simultaneous press release where they also raised $400 million in cash. How pissed are you? Like, if you're the guy that gave $400 million and then they're like, hey, I don't know if we're going to be able to stay in business. One thing, like with bankruptcy type of stocks, in this market, it's what we call, in Michigan, we used to call this funny money. There's so much funny money, rolling around in the world that there's no real bankruptcy concerns for like any company because people are getting money for free and then they can just give it to the other person, right? So who knows what this really even means. In general, it's going to be in play today. I don't know if the dip gets bought up or, if it like trails into the other names. If it trails into the other names, you got RCL, CCL, but we have to put them on watch. When one of them starts to dump, it's a sympathy play, right? So when one of them starts to dump, you want to start loading into the other ones, and then you're going to be good to go. All 3 of these are on potential watch. Obviously, NCLH is the one that had the news out, so that's going to be the focus list. You can already see this thing is starting to shred. Wait for us. I hate when they start to shred pre-market. What we're trying to do a little bit of learning here, But look at this thing. This thing could get dusted today. It's gonna have the SSR on it, so you can't short it into the hole. But we'll have we're gonna have some fun on this. Yo, this W had earnings out. It's gone bananas. It's gone bananas. In the morning, I literally was sitting there having my coffee, and it was like just sitting there at like 125, 130, and I'm like, huh. I knew its earnings were out. I'm like, must have not been received well. And then next thing you know, you got an MPC, then you got another MPC, then you chill for a little bit, you got another MPC. Man, you get 3 mega penis candles in 15 minutes, like you're really rolling. This thing is right at resistance now. I think it's going to be a tricky trader for most people because there's always a spread on this one. The volume is okay so far, 1.5 million shares, which is pretty good. The spread on this is going to be Gunnar. But I think you put this on watch. If it starts to pull back at the, we may kind of just double top here for a quick one. For like a quick, I would say like maybe $4 or $5 shred to the downside. Watch and see how it reacts after that first dump. And then see if it starts to build. Like you can't chase this thing up 26% into, its old high. You can only, we can trade it if it either pulls back or if it busts over this. Ideally, it busts over the highs, kind of just shake out all the shorts. And then, you start to build a pattern over there. Mr. Podell, what's going on? Yetis, where you been, buddy? Hey, good job on your trading lately. I noticed you were having some big days. Good. Next on the list, BYND. I think BYND, we got a little hook and ladder coming on this thing. So you had that nice push from 60 to 120. You've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of consolidation. 7 days of consolidation. You're starting to really build up some steam again. This dip is held. You've remounted over the 9 EMA. My guess, this thing, it busts into the 120s like really, really quickly if the market can hold up. It looks very similar to kind of Roku, where you got super extended and you kind of just needed that 5, 6, 7 day, consolidation pullback. When you have a stock that's like really ramped, oftentimes you need a 5 to 7 to 10 day consolidation pullback to allow some steam to build in, allow fresh buyers to come in. Roku kind of had that same thing, and then you saw yesterday what happened. Like it just ramped. Man, it ramped 12 points. Like out of the gate, it ramped 12 points, off the red to green. I think this BYD is getting ready for that kind of move too. For like, you're going to see one of those big $5, $10, 5, 10 point opens. Yeah. Add this to the watch list. Only on a pullback. BYD is notorious for like, if it spikes at the open and you try to chase it, like it's notorious for just getting the rug pulled. You got to let this thing settle a little bit, like right into the pullback. I think we'll be good to go on this one. Same thing, I got Roku on watch. It's gapping up like 3 points, so nothing too crazy. Watch the first dip on Roku. Roku is notorious. You get the first dip on Roku, it's going to be hot. First dip on Roku, it's going to be hot. Most likely it'll hold. The daily, you got a breakout that's starting to set up on this. Like I like this one a lot. So BYND, Roku, these cruise lines. Man, they're fucking not waiting for us. Sorry for the swear. Yeah, look at this thing. Shit.
Can I charge my phone?
No! Get the fuck out of here. CCL, look at this thing. Woo! Dun, dun, dun. Hold on here. All right. Good. Let me see this thing. CCO. Man, this thing is flying. Cody gapping down 11%. man, I think it's on an offering. I'd leave this one alone. Yeah, and I think you got to add mRNA to the list. mRNA is hot. So you got a big push. You got a consolidation. And then now you're starting to push out of this thing. It's hot. What do you think about this one? I like this one. Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, tell Taylor Options Himbo happy birthday. Yo, so Tesla's probably in play, but I didn't like this reaction after the earnings. I think yesterday was probably like the easy bounce. Now, like today, it's going to be a little bit more tricky. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing fade off a little bit. It's a very, very weird chart because when you gap up like so big on earnings and then you fade off the whole gap, like see this, like it gapped up 100 points and you faded off 200. Like that to me is just a bearish action right there. Like you don't want to see stocks just get smoked out on earnings like that. Man, I don't know. So like this could, for all we know, this is just a short squeeze or like a dead cat bounce. It's still inside this range. And when you're trading inside like a previous range, it's very, very tricky. Like if you're trading inside a range, like you want to be closer to the bottom of the range or the top of the range when you're making the trade. Like if you're in the middle, then it's really tricky. So I think Tesla's a leave alone. I think Roku, BYND are a cleaner. Good. I know you guys don't want to hear this, but I took a couple L's on this nugget yesterday. It never, in hindsight, it never broke. But we're going to play this thing again today. I got this on my mind. If it busts over 70 and holds, we're going to be on the shred on this bad boy. Yeah, let me look at BTC. Hold on, brother. I didn't see anything. I was in some of these the other day. Hold on. Yeah, so if you're looking at the chart for Bitcoin, hold on, let me get the Coinbase. You've had this nice push. Now you're consolidating right above the 9. If you're looking at like more of an hourly chart, like it just needs to kind of come out of this zone here. You're starting to tighten up. It's a little bit loose and messy, but yeah, that thing is nasty. If it busts loose, I roll with it if it busts out of that range. Sylvester. Good. So look, this Soxel, a couple people asked about this. You know, this is not the easiest of day traders. You know, you had a big gap on it, so, you know, now, like, you probably have some room to fill this gap. But I think this is probably more of like a, I don't know if it's the cleanest of day traders. You probably have some easier ones today. Yeah, CGC looks okay. Look, the list. And this is the list. We're sticking to it. Fuck, look at this thing go. BYND, RCL, NCLH, CCL, Roku. All right, these are the faves. We're going to add Nugget because we have revenge. We've got a revenge play on it that is due. All right. The rest of the stocks in the market suck. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the list. CATD, I don't know. Yeah, it's a nice looking, that's a nice looking one too. You can definitely roll with that. I haven't had any luck trading these kind of educational plays in the past, but yes, Mr. Podell, the higher it goes, the better. I want to see more action on it. Cat, man, cat's a hoe for show. If you think about it, like, Rob, I think there's better, cleaner plays out there. You know, I don't see an edge on that one. All right, good. My gut feeling today is the gap and grind day. So I think, you know, the play is probably going to be on the long side on the first dip in the market, though. On the first dip in these stocks. Watch the 920 EMAs. Let them hold, and you're good to go. All right? Everything else, just let it be. When you have gap up days, statistically, those are the hardest days to trade. You know, when you gap up like 1-2% in the market, they are very hard to trade because your whole watch list is gapped up. You got to wait for just a little bit of pullback, and just got to wait for a little bit of pullback, and then you're going to be good to go. Like, otherwise, just leave everything alone. Fuck Labu. How many stocks can I have? You guys are killing me today. Yeah, it looks all right. They all look all right. You know, every stock in the market, after a couple nice updates, every stock will look good, guys. It's more a matter of, can you get range? Can you get range? You know what? I didn't even know BYD's earnings were out today. You're right, 5-5. All right, take it off the main focus list, but we'll still be playing it. We'll watch it. Good. All right, guys, trade well. You know what we got to do. As always, I'll be in the Bulls on Wall Street chat room, shredding. You guys are always welcome to join us in our Discord. You know where we be. You know what we do. It's the do. All right, cool. Let's have some fun. Fair warning, gap up days are tricky, so do not chase right at the open. Let's let these things settle, all right? W, good Lord, that is the short squeeze. If you look, W has 46.91% of the float is short, probably, so it's 30 million shares, give or take. There's 30 million shares short. You've had 2 million shares in volume in the pre-market. So you got a lot more shares that can frankly, a lot more shares that can shred. All right, let's have some fun.